Oh, trying to be a YouTuber with kids, it is not for the weak. It's just not. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joy Lamons, and today I am going to talk about whatever the title of this video is. So yeah, once again we're going to do makeup because why not, right? The world's falling apart, but hey, I'm gonna look pretty when it burns. So first I'm gonna tell a story. Ready for a story? All right, so it was my senior year of high school and I was in chorus, but it wasn't just any chorus, okay? It was the elite chorus, okay? Every year, my chorus teacher planned this huge end of the year show, okay? It was singing, it was dancing. It was called a variety show. So it had like, we sang, I don't even know how many songs was in it, maybe 30 songs. And it was a big deal. I mean, we started rehearsing for that in the beginning, in the fall, like in the beginning of the year. And the show was in the spring at the very end of the year. So it was a year-long preparation type of thing. This is how serious that chorus was. Like, this woman, my chorus teacher did not play. Fast forward to end of the year, we're doing like intense rehearsals. Like we have rehearsals like, I want to say we had them like twice a week. I mean, it was like a big deal. We had rehearsals pretty often. Now, I made every single rehearsal. I was never late. Oh my gosh, I didn't even show you guys my shirt. Isn't this cute? Like, okay, anyway. One time, I missed practice. It was just a weird sequence of events. Like, my parents forgot that I had rehearsal that day. So they came home, they came in, grabbed something, and just went right back out the door. And they weren't answering their phone. I'm calling and calling and calling. Long story short, I completely missed practice. Like, I miss it, okay? I get to school the next day and school hasn't even begun. The first bell for class has not rung. And I'm in my chorus teacher's office, okay, voluntarily. And I went to explain to her and tell her like, I'm sorry, and like, I explained to her what happened. I explained to her, hey, my parents forgot that I had rehearsal. They came and they left, and like, I couldn't get in contact with them, and so that was why I had no ride. She just looked at me, and I'll never forget the look on her face. I'll never forget how cold she looked, like unyielding. She lectured me how important it is for everyone to be in practice. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. By the way, I'm using Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer. Okay, so like she lectured me like I was stupid. First of all, I'm like, yes, I know that. I've never missed a practice. Like, I've always been on time. You've never had any issues with me whatsoever. I learned all my music. I do what I'm supposed to do. Why are you talking to me like I'm a problem child? That's what I was thinking to myself. At the end of it all, she said, I'm going to take your solo. Now, I didn't mention this, but one of the songs that was chosen to be in the show was Survivor by Destiny's Child. And I was going to sing the lead. Because I missed that one practice, that solo was taken from me. She took that solo and she gave it to one of my friends. And before you ask, yes, she was. Yes, she was white, of course. And yes, my friend was black. I was devastated, you guys. Like, when I tell you, that was one of the most heartbreaking moments of my life. And then that day in class, in chorus, she gets up in front of the class and she says, I'm sure you all know at this point that Joy got her solo taken. If anyone else misses practice, from this moment forward, you are going to get your solos taken. Was I the first person to miss practice? No, I was not. Several students missed practice before I did, but I was the last student to miss practice. Why? Because she made an example of me. Now, why do I tell y'all this story? I tell this story because this is what it's like to be a black woman on this planet. That experience I had is not unique. That experience is one that happens all of the time. And I see it a lot on social media. Black women cannot make mistakes. I've been on Twitter for a couple years now. It hasn't been that long. It's been like almost 2 years. And the things I've seen on there, the amount of times I have seen black women dragged, and the things that they're dragged for, can we start there? The things that black women are dragged for are, a lot of times, the response is not equal to the offense, if that makes sense. a couple weeks ago, we seen the whole thing that happened with Tessica Brown. Tessica put glue in her hair instead of gel one day, okay? And it led to people were defending multi-million dollar companies. It was very weird. Like, this girl was called all these types of names because she made a mistake. This girl was called a con artist because she made a mistake. I sit there and I watched that, and it just brought back a lot of emotions and thoughts for me and memories, because the story I told you just now, me in the chorus class, that was not the first time that that's happened to me. That was not the first time, and it was not the last time either. And I always thought, like, is something, what is it about me that people don't want to give me a second chance? And it wasn't until I was an adult that I realized, well, it's this. Okay, I did my eyebrows off camera. I know you're probably thinking, well, Joy, I see people get dragged every day of all races, colors, and creeds on social media. And you're right, people do get dragged every day, but there's a special type of dragging that goes on when it is addressing a black woman. There is a specific type of, like I said about my chorus teacher, cold, unyielding, and completely lacking empathy. That's the type of dragging that black women get. They do not get mercy. There is no mercy. And we need to unpack what that's about. What is that about? Why do we do that? Tessica Brown didn't do anything to hurt anyone else. I haven't seen enough people address the fact that Tessica Brown didn't do anything to hurt anyone. The disgust that she was met with, you would have thought that she killed somebody's grandma. It was just over the top. There is a lot to be said globally about anti-blackness and misogynoir, but specifically, I'm talking about specifically here in the United States. Now, I have a theory. I have a theory about what is going on here. What do they call it? Spitball ideas? I wanted to spitball this theory. I want to compare the response to, for example, Tessica Brown, the woman who used Gorilla Glue on her hair. I want to compare that response to anything that any politician has done. The number of tweets, compare the emotion conveyed in the tweets. People were so self-righteous when talking about Tessica Brown's mistake, okay? That only affected her. Where was that energy the entire 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency? 4 years of non-stop mistakes that did not just affect him, but affected the world. Where was that energy? I didn't see it, I didn't feel it. The way that we do not hold white men accountable, because we do not hold white men accountable for their actions to the degree that we should, we overdo it when we see black women make mistakes. 4 years of us not reacting to Donald Trump's mistakes, or underreacting to Donald Trump's mistakes. Where is that emotion going to go? If we don't direct it to the person it goes to, those feelings don't disappear, they don't go away. My theory is that we misdirect that anger to an easier target. There are so many examples, because I see it all the time. I see a black woman tweet something that was just a little off, a misstep, something that's genuinely wrong, but like the reaction and the response that that mistake gets is just disproportionate. I see it all the time. The ways in which we allow white men and white women too, but white men have the most privilege in society. The way that we allow white men to be completely evil, the way that we allow white men the room to be evil, completely evil. We allow them, we give them this space for it. Because we give them so much space, we have no patience and no room left for anyone else. White men, they get all of this space. They get this much space, okay? White women, black men. So by the time we get to black women, we don't have it. Y'all don't have the patience for me. By the time I mess up, by the time I say a wrong thing, or do a wrong thing, or do too much, or not do enough, you don't have the patience left for me, because you done spent it on everyone else lighter than me, everyone else richer than me, more masculine than me. That's my theory on that. We have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to cut that crap out. My chorus teacher under responded to the first handful of people who mispracticed. So by the time I missed practice, she did not have no patience left for me. And I lost my solo. This was about dang near 15 years ago. I never forgot it. Because her swift response hurt me. When we do those swift, unempathetic responses, we hurt Black women. We're hurt. Y'all are hurting us. Y'all really are. You don't get it. It's one thing to critique. It's one thing to let people know when they're wrong. And it's another thing to completely break people down. And that's what y'all do to Black women on the internet every day. And I could go on. I could list so many examples, but I'm not gonna do it because I don't need to, because y'all seen it. This wig ain't gonna get too straight. It just ain't. You know how these Brazilians be. Each and every time you don't give Black women room and the space, the same space and room that you allow for non-Black people and for men, every time you don't do that for a Black woman, you are reinforcing white supremacy. Case closed, boo. Look at what happened with Kanye post-Trump, and look at what happened to Chrisette Michele. We have people saying, I'm praying for Kanye. Who praying for Chrisette Michele? Nobody. Who praying for Tina from Mary Mary? Nobody. Like, we just dumped them by the wayside. We said bye. What is the last thing that we're going to do to wrap this up? This topic is really important for me. It's really important to me because it's really starting to get on my last nerves. You guys are getting on my nerves at this point. We should be able to make mistakes without feeling like we're going to be flogged. I grew up in church, okay? I went to a Christian college and I got a minor in Bible and theology, okay? So I know the Bible a little bit. They taught us this term called scapegoat. In the Bible, there was such a thing as a scapegoat, and that was the goat that was used as a sacrifice to atone for the sins of the Jewish people, the Israelites. And that is what I feel like a scapegoat. I feel like Black women are functioning in American society as the scapegoat. Maybe I'm getting too deep, I don't know. Maybe I'm having church and y'all aren't ready to pass the offering plate, but I'm just saying. There is some validity to what I'm saying here. Black women are being used in our culture and in society to atone for this country's sins. Like, we don't punish the affluent white man. We don't punish the politician who is killing people. Like, we don't punish him. Instead, we turn to this Black person here, this visible, hyper visible Black woman. We turn to her and we let out our frustrations and we let out our anger and we use her as a scapegoat. Like, we use her as a means to atone for the sins of this white man. And that's, child, listen, it's just a theory. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't completely discount it because I see it. Ooh, girl, this came together real cute. So I'm gonna wrap this up after I line my lips. I'm basically trying to say that let Black women make mistakes. Give Black women second chances. Let Black women be the fullness of who they are. White privilege, all white privilege is white people are allowed to be the fullness of who they are. That's literally white privilege. That's a gift, to be able to be who you are, to be able to be all of who you are. I want us to really move differently in person. I want us to move differently online, lower our ridiculously unrealistic expectations that we have of Black women, because it is such a heavy burden to bear. What happened with Tessica Brown a couple weeks back was disgusting. And we need to sit with ourselves and ask, why are we like this? Why can't she make a mistake? Let her make a mistake. Yes, even at 40, let her make a mistake. You can make a mistake too. Like, I have nothing further to add to the conversation. I have clearly talked enough at this point. Thank you guys for watching my video, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye.